Good evening. Welcome, everyone. This is the November 17, 2016 City Council meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Draper.
Here.
Ms. Etzel. Mr. Spinks.
Present.
Mayor Abou-Osley.
Here.
Mr. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Sternad.
Present.
Ms. Pazor.
Here.
Thank you. Just before we start, a few housekeeping things, just reminders. If someone is here to speak to the council, please be recognized before you go to the microphone. And then when asked to come forward, please state your name and your address. Please try to keep your comments succinct and short. Make your point. And give others a chance to speak if there are others. And also for everyone, the council and everyone, discussion should come through the chair. So just for the sake of order, so people need to be recognized to speak, and I will try to be fair and let everyone have a chance to speak. Okay. Tonight we have a proclamation. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot our moment of silence. Let's do that. Thank you. Okay. We have a proclamation. I'm sorry. We have a presentation first before the proclamation. We have Brad Neely and Brady Quinn from Marion Leadership in Action.
Hi, Mayor. Thanks for having me in council. I've got some handouts for you guys real quick. My name is Brad Neely, 216 Battle Creek Drive in Marion. I'm here on behalf of the Marion Leadership in Action group. You might hear me refer to it as MLIA throughout the discussion. It's a program that came out of the Marion Chamber of Commerce. It's made up of community and business members who want to strengthen and activate their leadership skills and then put them into work into the community following the program. It's a one-year program, runs about 9 months actually, and it's made up of half-day classes that cover everything from the history to the culture of Marion and city operations, how we can attract business, schools, things of that nature. It started back in the Imaginate, like I said, so it's been going since 2011. There's 15 members in this year's class, which brings the total alumni up to over 90. I think, Will, you were on it at one point.
Inaugural one, the first one.
You were the first one.
Yeah.
Carrying the torch for you then. Like previous classes, there's a service component, a service project component to it. And what we're doing is continuing the theme of holiday light decorations with this year's project. Back in 2013, the class started the street light decorations that you see put up at the holidays. In 2014, that class elected to work on the Marion banners that you see up on the decorated light poles throughout the community. And then in 2015, they returned to putting the holiday decorations on the light poles. This year's class has some options that we'd like to bring forward and discuss with you. The first one is to just simply continue to propagate the current light pole design as the city has added new decorative light poles throughout the community. We've been in discussions with Ryan. He's getting a count of the light poles that are needed. And admittedly, I think they're kind of waiting for the roundabouts to get finished up on both sides of 7th and get a more accurate count. So there's a second option that we'd like to discuss is to bring more significant enhancements to the holiday decorations in the Uptown District. We believe that it would create yet another reason to visit and spend time in Uptown Marion and really enjoy the seasons and the lights, and then, of course, the businesses that are up there. The Uptown District, I spoke with Ashley. She has $5,000 committed in her budget for the project already. And what's proposed right now, which in the handout, it's on like page 2 of your handout, is to do what they call cross-street decorations. So there's some that say have snowflakes on them with a scroll work around them, and then there's other ones that say Season's Greetings. Ashley has prepared a map that she graciously passed along to me that kind of shows where those are proposed. And so what the MLIA class would like to do is partner with the Uptown District, if this option 2 is what seems to get the most support, and come along to help with fundraising, promoting, and bringing that to light as soon as possible. I won't get into the details yet on budget and whatnot because I want Ashley to be able to be a part of that discussion as well. But we are intending to go start our fundraising in early December and reaching out to the business community and interested citizens to kick that off. And would like to have an understanding from the council on what role you guys would like to play. For instance, a matching gift. Is there a certain fixed dollar amount that you would like to contribute? Do you have a preference on the decorating options that I discussed? I'd like to take your feedback and your thoughts back to the greater group as we prepare to formally launch the project out in the community and begin fundraising. That is my initial spiel. I'd be happy to answer any questions you all may have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, questions for him? Comments?
I'd like to think about this, monetarily before we commit anything.
Absolutely.
If I'm correct, the past few years we've committed hotel motel funds for these projects, or not? Or for the banners and
It's come, I can't recall if we've done hotel motel, but the original local option sales tax did have challenge money in it for anything that came out of Imaginate, and I think we've still got about $10,000 left of that money from the original local option sales tax that hasn't been allocated to a specific project yet.
So wouldn't this be a good candidate for hotel motel funding because it's about bringing people to the community?
Yeah, for the hotel motel tax, 50% of it has to be used to do projects that either improve parks or things like that create attractions for the community, and then the other 50% the council has discretion to put towards different types of projects.
Okay.
I got a question.
Joe?
Yeah, on your on page 2, you show you want 5, but you only show 3 locations on.
So that's the season greetings, I think.
The yellow, as I understand it, the yellow boxes are the snowflake scroll work.
Oh, okay. I didn't
And
pick
the
up
red
on the yellow
X's are the season's greetings.
one. Oh,
Is there a 5th?
heaven forbid that we'd say Merry Christmas. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Well, personally, I want to thank the group for taking on this project. Personally, I like the proposals on the second page versus more lights on the light poles, because I think that's different. That's something that doesn't exist in the area, and if we're trying to make our city a destination that people would want to come to at the holidays, I think it's something different. And
I have a question, Your Honor. Is that something that would last more than 1 year? I mean, would we be able to use those?
yes. Yeah, and like I said, Ashley can talk to you more. She has an established relationship with the vendor in terms of getting a quote. They are the same supplier, if I recall, that provides the decorations that are on the light poles today. I've checked out their website. They've got a huge catalogs of things. These are commercial grade decorations from everything I could see from their website.
So you're at about $16,000 some is what your total would be.
The total that she had is that the decorations that are proposed there is $24,394. So if she has $5,000 in her budget, that means that we need to go raise about $19,000. And obviously, we can approach this with a phased approach. It doesn't have to be all of them. Again, Ashley, I don't know if you want to join in the conversation or not on that.
If you had 5 of those at $3,600 a piece, is $16,000.
There's a discount after January 1st that drops the price to just north of $3,000 per one. It's in the note below, right? If you look at $3,600, then after January 1st, it drops down to $3,002.50. I'll let you talk to that since you got the quote.
Sure, yeah.
There's 5 of the top one and 3 of the bottom one.
Right.
Well, unless they say Merry Christmas, I don't want any of the bottom ones. Amen. I'm sorry. Okay.
Did you have anything to add, Ashley?
No, I was just, if there was any further
Okay,
questions.
I understand.
Okay. Any other questions about this?
Yeah, my question is more for Ryan, as far as installation of them, or not, I shouldn't say installation, but are they going to be too low for trucks and?
I haven't seen what they're proposing yet.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So,
Okay, so you know that, Ashley.
Yeah, Ryan, these are the same as what we kind of discussed last year. And what we were kind of getting hold up last year was how we are going to install them. Originally, we were looking at current poles on 7th. Those are obviously going to go away with time. And then we're also looking at the traffic signals. And it was determined that those wouldn't be eligible because of warranty issues, hanging things across the street. So I think what you had proposed last year was we would install temporary poles that would hold these in place. So I've started doing research on who could potentially supply the temporary poles. I'm still looking into that. Maybe Ryan has someone in mind based off your suggestion last year for that.
Yeah, I'd have to look at what they're proposing. And then the poles down on 7th Avenue, the city doesn't own those. Those are owned by Alliant. There's only so much we can do to those. Depending on what type of decorations they are, we'd have to look at the loadings, the wind speeds, stuff like that, to see what's going to support those. So depending on what they have proposed, we'll look at them.
The one other thing I don't know who can look into this too, is just since that's a highway, is if there's any restrictions for overhead decorations. That was the one thing that if you're going to go look into investigate that we should think about.
Yeah, that's spelled out in the city ordinance.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Any other questions?
Well, my only comment would be this is kind of late to be doing this, especially since you're not sure how this would work as far as.
Next year. I think it's for next year.
Yeah, so in the
I
prices
was
we
wondering
gave,
about that because it said after
make it
January
happen.
1st. I'm going, wait a minute.
yeah, and we can actually we can save significant amount of money if we wait until after January 1st. All the lights will be 20% off at that point. So
Okay.
we are looking for next year.
I love people that have sales.
That's right.
Do we know what the average life of these, do they last?
There
5 years,
is
10
a
years?
warranty. I didn't provide that to Brad, so we can look that up for you.
Okay, I'm just curious. Okay.
Do we have anything now that we're?
No.
Do we have anything from previous years for this year that we'll be putting up?
Well, we have banner enhancers we put up. We'll be putting those up after Thanksgiving probably. And those are lighted. They go around the banner brackets. We put those up every season. We have older decorations that we haven't put up for a while. We have some stashed away at public service. To be honest with you, I had to go back and look. I don't know what we have. But I know we have the banner enhancers that they were speaking to. We have plenty of those.
Because the Parks Department has started to decorate, I noticed today.
Right, and that's we used to do the trees all the way down through the uptown area, but with the removal of those trees over the last several years, you can't make the connection from tree to tree anymore. So the last couple of years, we've just decorated the trees right in front of City Square Park, and then the depot and the caboose, those type items within the park.
Okay, so what are you looking for today? Are you looking for anything from us today in terms of any decision or anything? Okay, so you're just sharing your idea with us?
Just getting general
And you're
feedback.
and you're gonna keep exploring it, talk to Ryan, make sure it works, and then at some point come back with a request?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, I commend the group just for wanting to do something to better our community, so thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Mayor, if you don't mind if I step away and just say as a citizen, address the council real quick, if that's okay?
We do have a section for that coming up,
Wait,
so
that'll be back
would
up.
you mind? Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. At this point, now we have a proclamation for Small Business Saturday. Is there someone here to accept the proclamation?
Don't argue, girl.
Okay. Who won the
paper,
coin
scissors.
toss?
Jill would be coming up.
Watch them, officer, they're arguing back there.
You know, I bet we have some decorations that say Merry Christmas.
I bet we do too.
Okay, please. Okay. So this is a proclamation. Whereas the city of Marion, Iowa celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 28.8 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of all businesses with employees in the United States, are responsible for 63% of net new jobs created over the past 20 years. And whereas small businesses employ over 49% of all business employees in the United States. And whereas 89% of consumers in the United States agree that small businesses contribute positively to the local community by supplying jobs and generating tax revenue. And whereas 87% of consumers in the United States agree that small businesses are critical to the overall economic health of the United States. And whereas 93% of consumers in the United States agree that it is important for people to support the small businesses that they value in their community. And whereas Marion, Iowa supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Nicholas Aboasli, Mayor of the City of Marion, Iowa, do hereby proclaim November 26, 2016 as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year.
Thank you.
I think it goes without saying that the majority of businesses in our city are small businesses, and they are the backbone of our community, and we urge everyone to support them, not only during the holidays, but throughout the year. Okay, at this time we have citizen presentations. Is there anyone who would want to come forward and address the council? Sir, did you still want to? Okay, there you go.
Brad Neely, 216 Battle Creek Drive. I've lived in Marion for over 35 years, and I love our community. I'm excited to be here. I'm proud of this community. And I've listened to your guys' work sessions and city council meetings for the last 2 years. I've listened to every single one of them. It's the blessings of having little kids that I'm rocking to sleep.
It puts your kids to sleep?
Puts them to sleep. Keeps me, yeah. So I wanted to compliment the department heads, city management. on the work that you guys do to run this community. You all do a wonderful job. And I think there's a lot of people that go about their lives and are extremely appreciative of what you guys do, and you don't hear from them. I understand you probably get a lot of people that come in here and they're just upset about something, so I wanted to make sure that you heard positive feedback on the work that you all do. I wanted to commend the mayor and the city council for the volunteer that you and the work that you do and how you serve our community. It takes leadership to look beyond today's challenges to what the future can look like. And Marion has felt a little stagnant in the past, and I'm really excited about where our community is going. And so I just wanted to thank you for your service. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to address the city council? Okay, then moving on. Mr. Cernad?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a motion to approve the consent calendar. This will be items 1 through 10. This will be resolution number 25681 through 25686. I'm sorry, strike that. It'll be items number 1 through 10. Resolution number 25681 through 25686. 88, I apologize. Okay. Also, items number 12 through 19, resolutions 25690 through 25695. Item 21 through 22. And also to include item 24 through 26.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar as presented with the exceptions of numbers 11, 20, and 23. Correct? Correct. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent calendar as presented with the exceptions of 11, 20, and 23, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to approve the consent calendar with your abstention from voting and discussion regarding the following items. Number 20, which is resolution 25696, and 27 through 29, resolutions 25699 and 25700.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve items number, on the consent calendar, items numbers 20, 27 through 29. Any discussion? None? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. And I abstain on this. Mr. Draper?
Thank you. I move ordinance 1616, amending the Code of Ordinances relating to parades, marches, walks, and demonstration. It's the initial consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 16-16, amending the Code of Ordinances relating to parades, marches, walks, and demonstrations. Initial consideration. Discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps the main thing about this is instead of just putting in a request and then doing it, this has got to be done 72 hours in advance of the
Event.
Thank you.
And it changes the point of contact in the city hall. It's not the clerk anymore. It will be the city manager's
manager.
office. Okay. All right, any other discussion? All those in favor of ordinance number 16-16, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I realize that it would take the entire council as sitting here, but what is the probability of there being any discussion as far as complaints, refusals to accept whatever? Because I would just as soon get this passed and just put it through right now. So I would move to suspend the rules.
And second and third consideration, you're moving for?
Yes.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and approve second and third consideration
For ordinance
for ordinance
16.
number 16-16. Discussion.
Just to clarify, what this is doing is it's removing a permit requirement that gets processed through the city clerk's office, and we've been issuing hold harmlesses for these since I've been here, so that's close to 10 years, and I think Beth said that predates her here, so it's been longer than that. That's why I don't think no one's ever actually come in and applied for the permit, so removing the requirement for it, I don't think will generate any public comment.
It's just making it consistent with what the practice is.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? All right. All those in, I'm
I
sorry.
was just going to say, is the department heads or is everyone in the city, has this been through all of them and everything?
Everybody gets a chance to review the hold harmlesses. It's a long-standing practice. The permit that was required only went through the city clerk's office, and nobody had ever come in and applied for one. Wes couldn't recall that they had ever actually issued one, so it's a requirement that wasn't being met. There's no reason to have it on there. This type of thing is, you have your standing parades every year, the ones that Swamp Fox, the homecoming parades that come around every year. The other ones are a lot less frequent.
Okay.
What about the decision to approve or deny? I mean, is it the same with the hold harmless as it would be with the permit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, with the permit, I don't know that the departments would have had the same opportunities to review as they do with the hold harmless agreements. The other difference is that the hold harmless agreement transfers liability away from the city. Whoever is the one that's coming in and applying for the permit is indemnifying the city in case anything happens, which isn't always the case with the permit.
Okay. Other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion to suspend the rules and approve the second and third considerations of ordinance number 16-16 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, can I ask why 11 was pulled off?
We were asked to. We were asked by Amanda to remove it.
We hadn't had a chance to confer, Dan. We weren't sure if you were ready to move forward with that one yet or not.
Yes,
since you
all
had
the
to
work's
come in.
been completed.
It is? Okay.
Yes.
Do you want us to proceed with approving?
If Dan is ready to go ahead and move with acceptance, then yeah, we could go ahead and act on that one. He just hadn't arrived yet, and we weren't sure. Hadn't had a chance to confer.
Oh, okay. Would you like to make the motion?
Sure. Your Honor, make a motion to approve resolution number 25689, accepting the 2006 Imagine Art in the Alley project.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25689, accepting 2016 Imagine Art in the Alley project. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the resolution number 25689, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 25701, approving the sale of a Marion Police Department K-9 vehicle, which is a 2013 Ford Police Interceptor SUV and with installed equipment to the city of Nassau, Iowa for the amount of $18,000.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25701, approving the sale of a Marion Police Department K-9 vehicle to the city of Nashua for an amount of $18,000. Discussion?
What I understand from Scott is that they moved a few things, but not all of it. I mean, basically left the cage and things like that intact.
Yeah, some of the equipment's left in it, and it cuts down on the expense because we don't have to pay for the removal of the equipment, and Nashua doesn't have to pay to have equipment reinstalled in it later. Plus, some of the equipment that was due to be replaced, there's not much value in that, so we wouldn't get anything back out of it. The kennel, the dog kennel that goes in the car is already scheduled to be replaced. So it's a win-win for both of us. We get a little bit more. The trade-in value of the car itself would only be between probably $10,000 and $11,000. And Nashua doesn't have to buy a brand new car if they're trying to get their canine program off the ground. So
they get the 5 pound of dog hair with it too,
and the odor. Yeah.
There's a pleasant thought. Okay, other discussion?
I just have one thing about Nashua. I was the first year I taught school was in Nashua, and I was engaged 3 times that year, and that's where the Little Brown Church is, and it must be something in the water.
Thank you for that. Any other discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 25701, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve ordinance number 16-17, amending Chapter 63 of the Code of Ordinances, establishing the speed limit on Tower Terrace Road from the west city limits to the east city limits as 35 miles per hour, except for that area from 10th Street to 1,000 feet east, which shall be 25 miles per hour when children are present. Remove Code Section 5V, initial consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 16-17, amending Chapter 63 of the Code of Ordinances, establishing the speed limit on Tower Terrace Road from the west city limits to the east city limits as 35 miles per hour, except for the area from 10th Street to 1,000 feet east of 10th Street, which shall be 25 miles per hour when children are present. Discussion.
I don't plan to ask for suspension on this.
Okay.
What was the code 5E that you're taking off there, Dan?
That basically just states that it's 35 mile an hour from the west city limits to the east city limits.
Oh, okay.
We're just pulling out the section and revising it.
Okay.
Other discussion? All those in favor of ordinance number 16-17, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion to receive and file and concur with TAC report regarding a request on an additional streetlight on Grand Avenue.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file and concur with TAC report regarding a request for an additional street light on Grand Avenue. Yes, sir.
I went back and looked at what they were asking, and is there a way that we could move the way those lights are, keep them at the 600 feet or whatever spacing, but could we move them around to cover this a little better? Or?
Well, the current spacing in this location is 555, so
yeah.
We could, I know they're not real balanced down through there,
yeah,
but none of the gaps are 600 or more, so council could approve something less than 600, but currently the code right now is 600 feet.
I don't want to go against, make it a trend that we're moving it, but I just wondered if we could, fill in the gap by moving something around.
That's that cul-de-sac, isn't it? It goes into
so.
it.
No, it's the way that developed down through there. In segments, West Grand did. They put lights at the end of each addition, and then at each intersection. So there's a couple lights down there that are only about 100 feet apart, but none of them are less than 600. So it's
It just seemed awful
or not
dark,
more than
didn't it?
600.
But that's why when I looked at it, there's some real close, and then the others are. So I just wondered if we spread them out. Or
I mean, we could do that if council directs us to do that. We would have to. They're all leased lights, so they would have to be relocated by by Alliant, and you still have that $500 to $1,000 per light cost to relocate them.
Yeah.
I've talked to the individual. They were going to try to find some other ways to provide some private lighting in that area. So,
Yeah, that or a higher wattage lamps or something for what's there. I hate to have a dark spot in the city.
yeah, we have kind of a low intensity policy throughout the city, so we don't have as much light pollution as some communities have. So we have a lot of locations that are 600 feet apart. So we have those consistent gaps similar to this one in other parts of the town. It just seems darker there because we have more frequency on each end of it. So,
Right.
Yeah, is it a perception?
yes.
Yeah, because you go and there's, some right next to each other, and then you get down there and they seem very far apart.
They're where the end of the subdivisions or the additions occurred.
Yeah. I don't know, is there any interest in having them look at it any further?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Especially if you've got them all jammed up 100 feet apart, and then they go out to 600 or 550 or.
Whatever council would recommend.
But there's a cost of $500 to $1,000.
Yeah, it's a new pole is about $700. I think I had in there $700 or $400.
Well, I'm not proposing a new pole, but I'm just saying spread. Look at the spread.
Yeah, relocating them, they'll put in, Alliant will put in new poles and take the old poles out. That's what
Okay.
they'll do.
I do appreciate that you've talked to the concerned
Yeah.
individuals and trying to work something out. Any other discussion? Okay, so we need to vote on the motion to concur with the TAC report, which is the recommendation is to do nothing. Correct? Yes. Okay. So, any other discussion on this motion that's on the floor? All those in favor of the motion to receive and file and concur with the TAC report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
We have one no. The motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to approve Resolution 25702, approving the establishment of a no parking zone on east and west sides of 12th Street from the north end to 50 feet south. This comes from Larry Juergens, 1530 12th Street.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25702, approving the establishment of a no parking zone on the east and west sides of 12th Street from the north end to 50 feet south. Discussion?
Your Honor, this I believe is a dead-end street, correct? And it will enable Mr. Juergens to back out of his driveway more easily because apparently people like to park on that street, so this is a logical resolution.
We had any citizens' complaints about changing that, Tom?
No. Not Tom, but
I forgot who was in charge. You keep telling me.
So,
Tom gets all the complaints,
who's parking there now? Residents on the street, or?
there are people that are parking there that are going through the fence to go into the church playground area there.
Okay.
But they do have alternate parking. So, and this still leaves room for a couple cars to still park in there yet.
Okay. Further discussion?
I have a question, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
So you said you sent a letter saying that it was because he originally asked for 20 feet and you went to 50. Did he respond to the letter or anything?
No, he did not.
No. Okay.
We went to 50 to allow for the garbage trucks and
Right.
so forth to be able to turn around. So,
Right. Okay.
So, that's with your recommendation then?
yes.
Okay.
Logical.
All those in favor of resolution number 25702, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Yes, Your Honor, I have Resolution 25,703, directing staff to prepare and submit an application to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a variance in fence height associated with property agreement with Linn-Mar Community School District regarding Tower Terrace Road project per resolution 25,313.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25703, directing the staff to prepare and submit an application to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a variance in fence height associated with the property agreement with Linn-Mar Community School District. So this is Tower Terrace Road fencing.
So this is just a straight chain link fence?
Yes, it's
It doesn't
it's a
have the-
plain chain link fence, 8 foot tall, is what you would be applying for.
Yeah.
No razor wire.
No razor wire.
No.
Okay. Any discussion on this? Okay. All those in favor of resolution number 25703 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No?
We have one no. The motion passes. At this time, we have a public hearing regarding the sale of city-owned property located south of 2525 7th Avenue, also known as Plat of Survey 2042, to Mooney Investments LLC. The public hearing is now open. Do we need a presentation on this, or a reminder? Or anybody? You're all okay?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this measure? Okay, is there anyone here to speak against this measure? Please come forward. Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed.
My turn. Yes, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve Resolution 25704, approving the sale of city-owned property located south of 2525 7th Avenue, also known as Plat of Survey Number 2042, to Mooney Investment LLC.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25704, approving the sale of the city-owned property located south of 2525 7th Avenue to Mooney Investments LLC.
I had a question for Tom.
Discussion.
I can't ask you this one now, can I? This is for you, right? Okay. Does Mooney, does he own the property that the Levita building is on?
When this originally started back in May, June, yes, he did.
So he sold that,
Yeah.
that land now is owned by Levita?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so
this was
they're
all,
not leasing it from him?
No. So if you recall, we're redoing this sale to clean up the deed that we had previously passed. So this is, we did the original one in July. So, yeah, this is all part of a redevelopment project there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know he had asked me a long time ago about an access road. Is that what this is for? Do you know?
Oh, this is a remnant parcel of the railroad right-of-way that would be between the south side of the property that he owned and sold to Lebeda and where the road right-of-way is at. It would allow for an access off of the 6th Avenue side, but as it stands, the parcel is too small to be developed on its own. I mean, it is a true remnant piece that really has no other purpose than to be combined with the property next to it. He does have, through that property, there's an access agreement with them and the car wash next door. If something ever were to happen at the car wash, the parking lots can be connected to allow for a shared access from property to property.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
Other questions or discussion? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor of approving resolution number 25704, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve ordinance number 1614, approving of Ivy Air Acres zoning to R1, low-density, single-family residential, for property located west of Albernet Road and north of East Robbins Road. City initiated. Second consideration.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 16-14, approving Ivy Air Acres zoning to R1 low-density single-family residential for the property located west of Elbernet Road and north of East Robbins Road. Discussion.
Any
I guess
comments?
I guess I haven't gotten any more correspondence. Have you gotten anything else from them?
No,
Okay.
it
I
would
was
be,
wondered if we'd go ahead and do a third on this one.
be appreciated.
I will take care of
That-
the
is that what-
suspensions.
I'm sorry, Mary Lou.
Yeah, just, yeah.
Steal your thunder.
Okay.
I already got it marked.
So, no more discussion? Okay, so we vote on the second consideration? All those in favor of ordinance number 16-14, second consideration, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to suspend the rules and place ordinance 16-14 for final approval.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and approve the final approval of ordinance number 16-14. Correct? Discussion?
Getting you educated.
Thank you. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor of suspending the rules and approving the third consideration of ordinance number 16-14 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve ordinance number 16-15, amending the Marion Code of Ordinances and establishing Chapter 176.50, Central Corridor Interim Development Overlay. Second consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 16-15, amending the Marion Code of Ordinances and establishing Chapter 176.5, Central Corridor Interim Development Overlay. Second consideration. Discussion?
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Has there been any complaints, comments, bravos, anything on this?
No?
No?
Just because with winter coming on and all, I think sometimes it's good to clean these up so that if people want to get started on projects and stuff, they can.
Okay, other discussion? Okay, we'll vote on the second consideration of ordinance number 16-15. All those in favor of ordinance number 16-15, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to receive and file a request from JPM Enterprises for a building permit prior to a final plat for property located at 6270 Partners Avenue.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file a request from JPM Enterprises for a building permit prior to a final plat for property located at 6270 Partners Avenue. Any discussion?
Your Honor, this is John Morris's project, and we've done this for him prior, I mean, in the past, and I don't believe there's ever been any problems with this.
But at this time, the motion is to receive and file.
This is just a motion to receive and file, but
The
it's...
resolution comes next, I think. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, who made the second on that motion?
I don't
Is there
remember.
a second?
Second.
He did.
Way to step up.
What a guy.
All right. All those in favor of the motion to receive and file the request from JPM Enterprises, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Yes, Your Honor, I have the next resolution, but I'd like a point of order. Could we go back and suspend the rules and do a third consideration on 1615?
Oh, I thought we
You'd
did.
have to make a motion.
I so moved.
Oh, we didn't do that?
No, we didn't.
Oh, my gosh.
I was so shocked that you went on.
I know.
Holy cow. Oh, I was just all involved
Maybe
with it.
you'll second this one.
I will second this one,
Okay.
yes.
It has been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and approve the final consideration of ordinance number 16-15. Discussion on suspending the rules. Okay, it has been, all those in favor of ordinance number 16-15, suspending the rules and approving the final consideration, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes. Now, Mr.
Now
Drew.
you're on a resolution 25,698 is approving a request from JPM Enterprises for building permit prior to final plat of property located at 6270 Partners Avenue.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25698, approving the request from JPM Enterprises for a building permit prior to a final plat for property located at 6270 Partners Avenue. Discussion on this?
I have a question. Tom, when will you think we'll see the final plat on that?
It shouldn't be too long, and I believe there's public improvements in front of the building, or in front of the lot, so there's access and everything. Generally, that comes with, because there's a desire to get started prior to some of the public improvements being in because of the weather or something.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
So that's what's holding him up then? Is the...
I really don't know what the details of what's holding them up. They just made the request, and
He plans to move forward as quickly as he can, though.
yeah, that's
Know that.
it's almost always weather related this time of year. I mean, I think the temps are supposed to drop this weekend, and they want to get footings in the ground soon. But
Yep.
staff has reviewed it internally, or we wouldn't be here with it on the agenda. So.
Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 25698, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Beth, I'm abstaining on this one. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, this is a motion to receive and file a request to encroach into the city right-of-way 5 feet by 20 feet for a cement handicap ramp located at 1135 8th Avenue. A request from Teresa Coons Lammers Properties Incorporated.
Second.
I assume that's 20 feet, right?
It has been moved and seconded to receive and file a request to encroach into the city right-of-way 5 feet by 20 feet for a cement handicap ramp located at 1135 8th Avenue. Discussion.
Would that be on the back side of that beauty shop?
It would actually be on the north side, next to 8th Avenue, across from the old City Hall. I went up and looked at it already, but
So this, the north
staff
side.
will make a recommendation.
There
once
is a
we've looked at it.
driveway there.
No, this is on right in the middle of the north side of the building.
Okay, yeah.
There's a small ramp there now, and I think she wants to put a bigger one in. Sidewalk's pretty narrow there, but we'll put together a report.
Okay. No more discussion? All those in favor of the motion to receive and file the request to encroach in the city right-of-way, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay, the motion passes. Council discussion time?
Yes, Ryan,
Yes.
I need your help here a minute if you would.
You're on, Ryan.
In the show.
Well, it's broken.
My daughter's in a show.
Okay.
I'm having something put up to prove how up-to-date our engineering department is. This roundabout is from the atlas for Kane County, Illinois in 1871. So, Tom, the guy next to you is all right. He knows what he's doing. We had roundabouts in 1871. Dan, good. Thank you. I begin to wonder what else occurred in 1871 in the city of Marion, as I always am looking at the history. And one of the things I found is that an Eli Draper opened a store. In Oxley's book, it says he opened a dry goods store, the second door west of the bookstore. Now, who knows where the bookstore was, but that's where it was. In 1871, Marion had 82 businesses. The largest construction of the year was a church at 6th Avenue and 13th Street. Does that sound kind of familiar where you're sitting right here this evening? When the city bought it, the church had been turned into an apartment house, as I remember. We got our first street lamps in that 1871. We got 20 kerosene-powered street lights downtown. The farm tax was 32 cents an acre on farmland in Lynn County. Marion had a epidemic of scarlet fever, which caused some deaths in 1871. Milwaukee Road committed themselves to come to Marion starting in 1872. They had a vote as to whether or not we should retain the county seat, and that vote was kind of interesting. The Cedar Rapids petitioned 4,468 names, and the Marion and the remainder of the county submitted 4,390 names. But not unlike today, there were 1,184 names taken off the Cedar Rapids petition because of it having some substitutes and having duplicates and what have you. And then they declared 500 illegal, which kept the county courthouse in Marion during that period. And I would say after that vote and what occurred, I don't think they had riots on the streets. Although we have an ordinance for them now, but I think the people accepted that. I don't know about Cedar Rapids. Eventually they beat us out, but they didn't beat us cheating in 1871.
Did you know that when they took it over, that there were people carrying guns, and there were fireworks going on when Cedar Rapids took it over?
Of course. You would remember that, Councilman.
That's how I remember it. I'm not going to.
Will, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Randy?
As all of you know, today will be my last session here on City Council. I do want to thank the mayor, the council, the city staff, citizens of Marion. It's been a pleasure to serve you. Hopefully I've done a decent job over the last months. I also want to congratulate David Nicholson, who will be your new elected official for the Ward 4. So at this point, I just want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see what the future holds.
Yes, I do. First of all, we lost another one of the old-timer Marion people. Marge Martin passed away, and she was the widow of longtime council member Larry Martin. So, and Marge taught in the Marion school system for a number of years. Iowa is playing at 8 o'clock, so and it's Seton Hall, so it should be a good basketball game. The History Center should be commended for their veterans display, and they've done just a really nice job. And of course, there are some of us that are there, which you probably won't recognize. I was a brunette anyway. It's Pat Klopfenstein really put together a heck of a thing, and Lynette and Judy did too. So Really nice. And goodbye, Randy. It's been a pleasure.
I'd like to echo on Randy. I've had a lot of fun with him. I wish I were 30 years younger so I could compete with him in the insurance industry every day. And you've been a very, very good city councilman, I feel. I look forward, and the city should, to the day when you'll be back. As they say in the movies, I'll be back.
Oh, that's Arnold. Oh, my God.
I'd like to mention, and I failed, Your Honor, if I might a minute, Charlie Knutson is here, and he kind of led up the campaign on our voting of the folks, which passed overwhelmingly in favor of electing by ward in the future, and we will have to do some ordinances in that. And I hope when we do that we never again allow the county to redistrict a council person out of their ward. We'll have to address that when we rewrite the thing. Currently, if the county, when they draw their line, it happened to us 2 years ago, took one of our councilmen out of his ward, and he should be allowed to continue, I feel, in his seat until his term expires at least. So, Charlie, 70% is pretty impressive. People have spoken. This council moved that we do that. I'm proud of us. And we're going to move forward from here, guys.
Yeah, I had a couple of things. First off, Randy, you will definitely be missed. I didn't realize this was your last one, so yeah. It was very nice serving with you. The second one, there was an article I read this week about one of the contractors that the city has been working with. It's about Abode, and the article was about Hannah, and that she's the second generation of Whittier's, yeah, to be working on that. And so that just amazed me that I didn't realize that the background of them, but that was a very nice article talking about how Abode came to be, and they're everywhere except Cedar Rapids turned them down. I saw Mr. Draper was.
They should stay here anyway.
Yeah, they should stay in Marion. And then finally, next week is one of my favorite days, and that's Thanksgiving. So to all the staff and everyone, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. We have to drive 1,000 miles to New York to get our turkey, but our thoughts and prayers will be with you all.
Okay. Will someone please fix that clock?
That's why you came back.
So, my daughter is in a show tonight at Sinclair at Coe College, and I looked up at the clock and I saw 7:24, and I thought, oh, I've got to get down there. So I got to my car and I saw it was only 6:24. So.
I would note that is supposedly a wireless atomic clock. It's supposed to update automatically. The other two did. This one has not for some reason. So, we'll
Nancy,
check it
I don't
out.
want that in your report in the Times. I too want to say thank you to Randy. I've really enjoyed your contributions. Appreciated everything that you've done. You're very thorough, and you ask all the good questions, and you're just a very caring citizen who really took seriously your role on the City Council, and we appreciate it very much. Just have some reaching higher recognitions. There have been a few ribbon cuttings recently. I attended the ribbon cutting for the HACAP at the HACAP office for the Red Ahead program. The United Way is expanding that program into Marion to serve Marion children, which is a really big news for us. This is a early childhood reading program for families with young children. and they got the funding put together to expand that into Marion. I attended the ribbon cutting. That was very nice. We had the ribbon cutting for the roundabout at 7th and 7th. I was out at Hills Bank for the sneak peek they had this afternoon of their new facility. It's beautiful. It's a huge improvement to that corner of Marion. It's a very spacious building. They have a community room that is available for people to use. It's a very nice facility. We're very happy that they have expanded in Marion and have built their second location here. The alley has been completed, and now the artwork's being installed. So good job to everyone who's worked on that. I want to especially recognize Mike from our engineering department, who has worked on the alley project and the roundabout, and I know it's tested his patience a lot, and he did a great job, and we're really glad to see both of those projects completed. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.